Bulletproof glass, motion sensors, infrared beams, security teams trained to react in seconds. Museums across the world pour millions into protection systems that rival military installations. You walk past them every day, the reinforced showcases, the titanium frames, the guards watching every corner. And yet, August 21st, 1911. A handyman walks out of the Louvre with the Mona Lisa under his work smock. March 18, 1990. Two guys in police uniforms bind guards with duct tape and spend 81 minutes taking 13 masterpieces from the Gardner Museum in Boston. November 25th, 2019. Dresden's Green Vault loses 113 million euros in royal jewels. 9 axe blows. December 7th, 2002. Sledgehammer through a window at the Van Gogh Museum. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. The painting's gone. What do they all have in common? Not laser cutters, not sophisticated electronics, not Ocean's 11 gadgets, a hammer, a ladder, duct tape, a white smock. The crudest tools you can buy at any hardware store. How does a piece of wood with a metal head defeat systems designed by security experts? Why do museums that can afford million-dollar alarm systems fall to $20 tools? And what does it say about every supposedly secure display you've ever walked past? The receipts are about to get uncomfortable. Their art crime team reports accessed November 2025. The Wikipedia entries for major museum heists verified against primary court documents and museum records. Academic sources like the Journal of Art Crime published by the Association for Research into Crimes Against Art, and detailed investigative reporting from the New York Times archive covering these heists as they happened, including Dorothy McFadden's 1911 coverage of the Mona Lisa theft and contemporary reporting by Randy Kennedy and Doreen Carvajal. Now back to the information. Worked at the Louvre in 1910, helping to construct protective glass cases for paintings. He knows the building, he knows the routines. He knows which galleries have guards and which don't. On Sunday night, August 20th, Perugia hides in a supply closet, just waits. No sophisticated entry, no climbing through vents. He walks in during the day and doesn't walk out. At 7:15 Monday morning, the museum is still closed. Perugia emerges wearing a white work smock, the exact same smock every Louvre employee wears. He walks to the Salon Carré. The Mona Lisa hangs there. No guards, no visitors. The painting measures 53 by 77 centimeters. Leonardo painted it on wood, not canvas. Perugia lifts it off its hooks. He removes it from its protective case, the case he helped build. He wraps his smock around it, tucks it under his arm, starts walking to the exit. Finally, at noon Tuesday, the Louvre announces the Mona Lisa is gone. French police launch the biggest investigation in their history. 60 detectives, thousands of tips. They question Pablo Picasso. They arrest poet Guillaume Apollinaire. They search ships leaving France. They check every art dealer in Europe. Perugia? They interview him twice. He was on the staff list. They take his fingerprints. But they never match them to prints found at the scene. He keeps the painting in his Paris apartment for 2 years, in a trunk with a false bottom. Every evening he looks at it. In November 1913, he takes it to Italy by train, contacts art dealer Alfredo Geri in Florence. Geri calls Giovanni Poggi, director of the Uffizi. They authenticate it, call police. Perugia is arrested December 12, 1913, at his hotel. He gets 14 months in jail, serves 7. The Mona Lisa tours Italy, returns to the Louvre in January 1914. The theft made it the most famous painting in the world. Before 1911, art scholars knew it. After, everyone knew it. One man, one smock, 28 hours before detection. 2 men in Boston Police Department uniforms ring the side entrance bell. They tell the guard they're responding to a disturbance call. Against protocol, 23-year-old security guard Rick Abbott lets them in. The men claim Abbott has an outstanding warrant. They tell him to step away from the security desk. This disables the silent alarm that would alert real police. Second guard Randy Heston arrives. Both guards are handcuffed. Duct tape wrapped around their heads and eyes. They're taken to the basement, handcuffed to pipes. The thieves have 81 minutes. They know exactly what they want. Dutch room, 2nd floor. They smash the motion sensor alert. Take Rembrandt's Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only seascape. Take Rembrandt's A Lady in Gentleman in Black. Take Rembrandt's self-portrait etching. Take Vermeer's The Concert, one of only 36 known Vermeers. 5 Degas sketches. Manet's Chez Tortoni. Flink's Landscape with an Obelisk. A Chinese bronze vessel. A Napoleonic eagle finial. They cut some paintings from frames. They smash frames. They're sloppy, but they're systematic. They ignore Titian's The Rape of Europa, the most valuable painting in the museum. Why? Too big, 6 feet by 7 feet. The Rembrandt Seascape is 5 by 4, small enough to carry. The largest private reward ever. Empty frames still hang in the galleries. Isabella Stewart Gardner's will specified that nothing in the museum could ever be moved. The frames stay. A reminder, $500 million in art. Gone. The thieves used duct tape, handcuffs, police uniforms. Not one sophisticated tool, not one high-tech device. They knew the guards would trust uniforms. They knew the museum policy. They knew the building layout. And they knew they had from closing Sunday night until opening Tuesday to be anywhere in the world. But on November 25th, the Green Diamond is in New York on loan to the Metropolitan Museum. Lucky. At 3:58 a.m., a small fire starts on Augustus Bridge near the museum. Someone torched a power distribution box. Streetlights go dark. The power outage disables some security systems. CCTV keeps running on backup, but sensors fail. At 4 a.m., two small men approach the museum. Days earlier, someone cut through the iron window bars, then glued them back in place so nobody would notice. The thieves pull away the bars, smash through the safety glass, squeeze through the window opening. Security footage from the Saxon State Police shows they're wearing dark clothes, gloves, ski masks. 9 hard swings directly into the reinforced glass display case. The glass shatters. They grab 21 pieces. The 49-carat Dresden white diamond, an 18-diamond encrusted sword, 800 diamonds total. A diamond hat clasp from the 1780s. The diamond epaulette, the breast star of the Polish Order of the White Eagle. They stuff everything into a sack. One thief sprays a fire extinguisher across the room. Destroys footprints, covers DNA traces. Total time inside, 13 minutes. They escape through the window, drive to a parking garage, set their Audi S6 on fire, take a second car to Berlin. First police car arrives at 4:59, 5 minutes after the automated alarm. The thieves are long gone. CCTV showed them casing the museum twice before. They studied the routes. They planned the power outage. They measured the window openings. In January 2023, some defendants confessed in court. Rabier Remo, 29 years old, admitted he was inside the vault. He said, "We smashed the glass with an axe and filled a sack." Another member used the fire extinguisher. They escaped exactly as planned. In December 2022, police recovered 31 pieces in Berlin, found them after negotiations with defense lawyers. Many pieces are damaged. The white diamond is still missing. The sword is still missing. Estimated loss, 113.8 million euros. Not the 1 billion some sources claimed, but still one of the biggest jewelry heists in European history. Tools used? An axe, a fire extinguisher, pre-cut window bars glued back, knowledge of the building's blind spots. That's it. They climb the ladder to the roof. Durham swings the sledgehammer, smashes through security reinforced glass on an upper floor window. They climb inside. They're in a gallery. They grab the 2 smallest paintings near the window. View of the sea at Scheveningen, painted 1882 during Van Gogh's Hague period. The museum's only Hague period work. Congregation leaving the Reformed Church in Nuenen, painted 1884 as a gift for Van Gogh's mother, the only painting still on its original stretcher. Paint splashes from Van Gogh cleaning brushes, irreplaceable historical value. Why these 2? Durham later said they were the smallest, closest to our entry point. Not because they were most valuable, just convenient. Total time, 3 minutes 40 seconds. They rappel down the rope. Durham hits the ground hard, damages the corner of the seascape. Museum guard calls police. Durham listens on a police scanner, removes his ski mask before driving past responding officers. They escape clean. Durham escapes by climbing his apartment building, earns the nickname The Monkey. He's caught in Spain. Both men get 4 years. Durham serves 3. He never tells police where the paintings are, gets released, goes back to jail for a failed bank robbery. In 2013, Durham contacts the museum, says he'll help find the paintings for compensation. Museum refuses. Meanwhile, the paintings travel through the criminal underworld. Italian cocaine trafficker Raffaele Imperiale buys them. He's part of the Camorra, the Neapolitan mafia. Amato Pagano clan. Extremely dangerous. In September 2016, Italian police raid properties connected to Imperiale's mother. They're investigating cocaine trafficking. In a house in Castellammare di Stabia near Naples, they find a hidden wall cavity next to the kitchen. Both Van Goghs, wrapped in cloth, missing their frames. But intact, the paintings return to Amsterdam, go on display March through May 2017. 14 years missing. Recovered because of an unrelated drug investigation. The theft? A ladder? A sledgehammer? A rope? 3 minutes 40 seconds. Motion detectors calibrated to ignore air currents but catch human movement. Video surveillance with facial recognition. Reinforced glass tested to withstand bullets. All of this assumes a certain level of criminal sophistication. The systems are built to stop Ocean's 11 scenarios, people who study security vulnerabilities, who plan for months to bypass electronics, who use specialized equipment. But basic tools don't trigger those assumptions. A hammer doesn't set off metal detectors because guards carry hammers for maintenance. A ladder doesn't look suspicious because maintenance crews use ladders daily. Work smocks blend in because dozens of employees wear them. Police uniforms create trust instead of suspicion. The Isabella Stewart Gardner guards violated protocol by letting in the fake cops. But can you blame them? Uniforms mean authority. We're trained from childhood to trust them. That's a cognitive vulnerability no laser grid can fix. The Van Gogh heist took less than 4 minutes. The Dresden theft took 13. Speed defeats response time. Police can't arrive in 3 minutes. Even if alarms work perfectly, even if guards react immediately, 3 minutes is faster than any response. That's why smash and grab works. You don't bypass the alarm, you trigger it and run. By the time anyone arrives, you're gone. The Dresden thieves cut the power to delay response. But even if power had stayed on, 13 minutes is enough. That transparency is a structural weakness. A sledgehammer works the same way. Kinetic energy transferred through a small surface. The Van Gogh window was security reinforced. Didn't matter, one swing. Through. Duct tape is brilliant because it's multi-purpose. It restrains people without needing training. It covers faces without needing specialized masks. It's quiet, it's fast, it leaves no marks if you remove it carefully. The Gardner thieves wrapped duct tape around guards' heads and eyes. The guards couldn't identify them, couldn't see where they were taken, couldn't remove the tape without help. Cost? $3 a roll. Perugia didn't need to sneak. He walked out during the day in a work smock, carrying something wrapped in cloth. To anyone watching, he looked like a worker moving equipment. That's camouflage through normality. The Dresden thieves wore dark clothes and masks, but they knew the window was in a blind spot. No cameras pointed there. Why? Because it was high up. Architecturally difficult to reach. Museums make risk calculations. They protect the obvious entry points. Side windows on the second floor don't seem threatening until someone cuts the bars days in advance and glues them back. By the time you discover the cut, the heist is over. They trust routines. They assume today will be like yesterday. They get tired. Rick Abbott at the Gardner was 23 years old. Night shift. He'd worked there for a year. When 2 Boston cops show up, why wouldn't he let them in? He had no reason to suspect them. He violated protocol. But protocol feels paranoid until something happens. Then everyone asks why you didn't follow it. The Dresden security guard saw the alarm trigger the day before the heist. Reset it, forgot to reactivate it. One oversight, one human error, that's all it takes. That's reconnaissance, but it's not sophisticated tech reconnaissance. It's showing up, looking around, taking notes. Anyone can do it. The Gardner thieves may have had inside information. Some investigators suspect Rick Abbott was involved. He denies it, but his decision to let them in and his claim that they knew he had a minor warrant suggests they knew details about him. Did someone tell them? Or did they just bluff confidently? We may never know. But either way, the vulnerability is human. Someone talks, someone gets lazy, someone trusts the wrong person. And if you can see through it, you can break through it with enough force. Duct tape defeats restraint systems because restraint systems assume you'll use handcuffs or rope. Those require knots or keys, but duct tape sticks to itself. Wrap it tight, and it holds. No knots, no keys, just adhesive. And it's sold everywhere. Same with sledgehammers, ladders, axes. These aren't restricted tools. You don't need a license. You don't need special training. You buy them at any hardware store. Walk out same day? This makes prevention nearly impossible. How do you stop someone from buying a hammer? When you tell them royal jewels worth 113 million euros were taken with an axe, they don't believe it. We expect heists to match the value. Big score means big operation, but value is subjective. To a museum, these pieces are priceless. To a thief, they're commodities. The Gardner thieves ignored the Titian because it was too big. They weren't art lovers. They were criminals moving merchandise. The Dresden thieves grabbed everything loose. They couldn't take pieces sewn into the display, not because they didn't want them, just because they didn't have time. The Van Gogh thieves took the smallest paintings, not the most famous, just what they could carry down a rope. That's not sophistication, that's pragmatism. 0 pieces recovered in 35 years. The Mona Lisa came back because Perugia tried to sell it. He got caught. The Van Goghs came back because of an unrelated mafia investigation, not because police found them, because drug investigators stumbled on them. The Dresden jewels? 31 pieces returned after a plea deal. But the white diamond is still missing. The sword is still missing. Where are they? Melted down? Hidden? Destroyed? Nobody knows. Once art enters the criminal world, it disappears. You can't sell a Vermeer at Sotheby's. Everyone would know it's stolen, so it goes to private collectors. People who want to own it but can't show it, or it's used as collateral. Drug deals, arms deals. A $10 million Rembrandt is worth something to criminals, even if they can't sell it. It's portable wealth. The Van Gogh thieves left their ladder, rope, cap. The Dresden crew left the axe. But evidence doesn't always lead to convictions. The Gardner investigation identified suspects. The FBI says they know who did it, but they can't prove it in court. The suspects are dead or uncooperative. No confession, no recovered art, no case. The Van Gogh thieves were convicted, but they didn't reveal where the paintings were. Durham spent years in jail. Never told. What's the incentive to talk? If you talk, you give up your leverage. The paintings are your bargaining chip. Tell police where they are and you have nothing left. So you stay quiet. Serve your time. Hope the statute of limitations runs out, or hope someone finds them by accident and you're already free. The Louvre has the Mona Lisa behind bulletproof glass, in a climate-controlled case, with a rope barrier keeping visitors back, multiple guards watching. That wouldn't have stopped Perugia in 1911, but it would stop someone today. The Van Gogh Museum reinforced all its windows after 2002. Better sensors, more guards. The Dresden Green Vault rebuilt its security completely after 2019. New glass, new sensors, new protocols. But here's the problem. Security is reactive. You fix what broke, you don't fix what might break next. Every system has vulnerabilities. The question is whether anyone knows them yet. Different tools, same concept, fast, violent, over before response can arrive. The tools were more modern, power tools instead of sledgehammers. But the principle is identical: smash, grab, run. The museum had updated security after previous incidents. Didn't matter. The thieves found a new vulnerability. They always do. That's the arms race. Museums improve defenses. Criminals adapt, find new weaknesses, exploit them. The museum improves again. Criminals adapt again. It never ends. Because as long as valuable art is on display, someone will want to take it. And as long as displays must be visible, they're vulnerable. Even if you get caught, you might serve 4 years like Durham. Get out. Have a stolen Van Gogh waiting for you wherever you hid it. 14 years later, it's still worth millions. 4 years in jail for a shot at millions? Some people take that bet. The rational actor model says crime happens when benefit exceeds cost. The cost here is low. The benefit is enormous. The probability of getting caught is higher than it used to be. DNA, CCTV, digital forensics. But if you're fast enough, none of that matters. 3 minutes, 40 seconds doesn't give forensics time to work. You're gone before they arrive. They knew backup systems would keep CCTV running, but sensors would fail. That's inside knowledge. Someone told them, or they studied it carefully. But here's the thing. Municipal power systems have junction boxes all over. They're marked. They're accessible. You can figure out which box serves which building. It's not secret. It's engineering. Anyone with basic knowledge can identify the right box. Same with building layouts. Museum floor plans are often public. Fire codes require exits to be marked. Accessibility laws require ramps and elevators to be documented. Historical buildings have blueprints and archives. You can research your target legally. Once you know the layout, the only question is execution. How fast can you move? What can you carry? Where are the cameras? Those are tactical questions. They don't require genius, just observation. The most disturbing part? It's not slowing down. Art crime is increasing, not decreasing. Better security just shifts targets. Thieves hit smaller museums now, places with less funding. The Middletown Military Museum in Connecticut, February 2020. Masked burglar with an axe, smashed windows, smashed a display case, stole an on-firing training pistol, caught within days, but dozens of small museums get hit every year. Historical societies, local galleries. They can't afford the security that major museums have. They have volunteers, not professional guards. They have basic alarms, not infrared grids. An axe is more than enough. Same in Vermont. The Ethan Allen Homestead Museum. Thieves pried open a double door, stole computers, smashed a donation box, took maple candy from the gift shop. The museum director said, "We honestly thought the building itself was secure." That's the mindset. If you're not the Louvre, if you're not the Gardner, you assume you're not a target, but art has value. Memorabilia has value. A historical letter can sell for thousands. A Civil War medal can sell for tens of thousands. And small museums have fewer defenses. Jeffrey Kelly, former FBI agent on the Gardner case, it's not iconic works getting stolen, it's lesser-known works, second-tier artists. Well-known art is too hot to move, everyone recognizes the Mona Lisa. But a 19th century landscape by a moderately known artist? That moves through the market easier. Hundreds of millions disappear each year, maybe billions. The tools work because museums are designed for the public. They're supposed to be accessible. You walk in, you look at art, you're close to it, sometimes inches away. That proximity is the point. You're supposed to experience the work, feel its presence. That requires vulnerability. You can't put a Rembrandt behind 10 inches of steel. You lose the experience. You can't restrict access completely. Then it's not a museum, it's a vault. Museums balance access and security. That balance is where heists happen. Every time you open the doors, you accept risk. Every time you put art on display, you make it visible to criminals and art lovers alike. There's no way to distinguish them until it's too late. A thief today can sell a stolen work for Bitcoin, transfer it internationally in minutes. No banks involved, no paper trail. The buyer never meets the seller. The transaction is anonymous. This makes recovery nearly impossible. Even if you find the buyer, they claim they didn't know it was stolen. They paid in good faith. Maybe they even did, but the art is still gone. Museums can't get it back without years of legal battles. Meanwhile, the thief is somewhere else, never caught, already planning the next job, and nobody's taken it. Think about what that means. Either the art is destroyed, which experts doubt because destroying it destroys its value, or it's hidden somewhere only a dead person knows. The FBI says some of it moved to Connecticut, Maine, mid-Atlantic states 20 years ago. Maybe it did, maybe those tips were wrong, maybe the investigation followed false leads. We don't know. What we know, 13 pieces, $500 million, 35 years, zero recovery. The empty frames still hang, a testament to vulnerability. Even when art is recovered, it's not the same. The Van Gogh seascape was damaged when Durham hit the ground. The corner crumpled, restoration fixed it. But the original surface is gone. That's permanent loss. Not as bad as total loss, but loss nonetheless. Every heist, even successful recoveries, costs us something we can't get back. And the tools that did it? Hammers, axes, ladders, duct tape. Available everywhere. Legal everywhere. Untraceable. Biometric everything. Constant bag searches. Metal detectors at every doorway. That would work. But nobody would visit. Museums need visitors. Visitors need access. Access means vulnerability. So security is calibrated to seem sufficient without being oppressive. That calibration is the gap where heists happen. Not because museums are stupid. They're not. But because perfect security and public access are incompatible. You choose one or the other. Museums choose access and pay the price. Not to be fortresses. Retrofitting fortress security onto a public building is expensive, ugly, and ultimately futile. Because every fortress has a gate, and every gate opens. That's when you attack. The Dresden thieves didn't break into an impregnable vault. They waited until they found a window with cut bars. The Gardner thieves didn't scale walls. They knocked, and someone opened the door. The Mona Lisa walked out the front exit. The doors are the vulnerability, and museums need doors to function. Even facial recognition can't help if you're wearing a mask. COVID normalized masks. Everyone wears them now. Perfect criminal cover, totally legal. Walk in wearing a surgical mask, nobody questions it. Smash, grab, run. By the time anyone reacts, you're outside, in a car, gone. The camera footage shows a masked figure. Average height, average build. Could be anyone. 10,000 people match that description in any major city. Good luck. The economics favor criminals. Risk versus reward. The Gardner art is worth $500 million. Even if you only get 1% in a black market sale, $5 million, that's more than most people earn in a lifetime. For 81 minutes. Durham served 3 years for $30 million in Van Goghs. That's a rational crime for some people. Criminals adapt. Better glass means bigger hammers. More cameras mean faster movement. It's an arms race with no winner. The only real solution is removing art from public view entirely. But art is meant to be experienced in person. Digital reproduction isn't the same. So we accept the risk, display the art, install security, and hope thieves target someone else. Technology has advanced enormously since 1911. We have AI, quantum computing, satellite surveillance. And yet, in October 2025, thieves robbed the Louvre with battery-powered tools in 7 minutes. Same basic methodology Perugia used 114 years ago. Only difference, power tools instead of hand tools. That's it. The core vulnerability hasn't changed. Art must be visible. Visible means accessible. Accessible means vulnerable. No amount of technology changes that equation. You can make theft harder. You can't make it impossible. Not while maintaining public access. And museums exist for public access, so the vulnerability persists, and hammers keep working. After the Van Gogh, Amsterdam museums reinforced windows, improved response times. After Dresden, German museums reviewed their power systems, ensured backups work properly. But these are reactive fixes. They prevent the last heist from working again. They don't prevent the next heist from working differently, because criminals are creative. They probe, they test, they find new weaknesses. Museums can't anticipate every method. There are infinite ways to attack finite defenses. The attacker only needs to succeed once. The defender must succeed every time. That asymmetry favors criminals. Always has, always will. The Gardner Guard opened the door. One decision. $500 million gone. These aren't stupid people. They're normal people. Tired, trusting routine, making understandable errors. And errors are inevitable. Over enough time, over enough shifts, someone will make a mistake. Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, eventually it will. Museums employ hundreds of people. Guards work thousands of shifts per year. One lapse is statistically certain. That lapse is the opening. Criminals wait for it. They know it's coming. They just need to be there when it happens. 37 years. Each year, hope fades a little more. After 40 years, the thieves who were 30 in 1990 are 70 now. Maybe retired, maybe dead. They took their secrets to the grave. The paintings, unknown. Lost, destroyed, hidden so well they'll never be found. Used as collateral in drug deals and passed through so many hands nobody remembers where they came from. All possible. All equally untraceable. The art world accepts this. Some thefts never get solved. Some art disappears forever. The loss is permanent. Some in the Spree River, wrapped, damaged but present. The museum restored what could be restored. Pieces are back on display, but the 49-carat white diamond is still gone. The 800 diamond sword is gone. Several other pieces are gone. The defendants say they don't know where. Maybe truth, maybe lies. Either way, those pieces are lost. The case is closed, the sentences are served, the art remains missing. And the tools that did it, one axe, one fire extinguisher, a few minutes of planning, cost less than a nice dinner. Time will tell if it works, or if the next thief finds a new vulnerability. The jewels are still missing. 8 pieces, $102 million, gone. Police have suspects, no arrests announced. The investigation continues. Maybe they'll recover something, maybe they won't. The pattern suggests they won't. Most stolen art stays stolen. The odds favor the thieves, always have. Public access creates openings. Human error is inevitable. Security is reactive. Recovery is rare. And the people who know this best are criminals. They study the heists. They learn. They adapt. They know a $20 hammer can defeat a $1 million security system. They know 3 minutes is enough. They know even if caught, sentences aren't that long. So they keep trying. And museums keep losing. The cycle continues. Because both sides are trapped. Museums must display art. Criminals must steal valuable things. The tools don't change. The methodology doesn't change. Only the date changes. 1911, 1990, 2002, 2019, 2025. Every few years somewhere a museum loses something irreplaceable. And the tool that did it costs less than lunch. Police recover 31 pieces from the Green Vault heist. They're hidden in a lockup, wrapped in dark cloth. The diamond-encrusted hat clasp, the breast star with its royal crest, pieces of the jewelry sets from Augustus the Strong's collection. Investigators photograph everything, document damage. Each piece tells a story, scratches where they were roughly handled, tarnish from poor storage, missing elements. Some diamonds are loose in their settings, the impact of being thrown into a sack, 3 years in criminal hands. Conservators begin restoration immediately. Months of careful work, soldering, polishing, resetting stones. They succeed mostly, but you can't restore 300-year-old craftsmanship perfectly. The damage is permanent. A reminder that every theft, even resolved ones, costs something we can't replace. The recovered pieces go back on display in May 2023, behind new glass, stronger, thicker, better sensors, guards watching constantly. Will it be enough? Time will tell.